Welcome, Fedi Friends, to episode 23 of Fireside Fedi, I think. I'm your host, Ozoned. Fireside Fedi is a show about folks within the Fediverse. If you're seeing this, you are a part of the Fediverse. Yes, even you on YouTube, which we now are going to be uploading to. We are adopting you as a Fedizen on the Fediverse during this show. So welcome to a more free internet. With me today is Gina, which I lost my place because I'm trying to figure out where I'm at here. Gina is the head of Fosstodon. She's a project manager, a Memefluencer, which I need to learn what that is, a tech nerd, a FOSS enthusiast, and a DIYer. Gina, welcome to the show. And first and foremost, how would you like to be addressed?
Thank you. Yeah, and by Gina and she, her, hers, all of those.
All right. So Gina, we always start with the most easy question that you will instantly know the answer to. How did you get to where you're at today?
Oh, that's
Easy,
a big
right?
question to ask. Yeah. Oh, do you want the whole journey from A to Z, or
Whatever you want to go into, we can talk about. You want to keep it to an hour, so keep that one in mind.
Okay,
But other than that, you go for it.
Oh, awesome. Well, that's quite a deep dive. But first of all, thank you for having me on. It's an honor to be invited. It's really cool. I love your podcast. It is in my top 3 together with Game Scoop. So that says a lot because I'm addicted to that one, and yours as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it's just nice to be here and show basically the human behind the profile picture.
Yeah. That's what we're all about, right? We're trying to break down walls and get to know each other. Oh. Hopefully it helps, right? Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I thought it might be nice to start with a little introduction.
Yes, please do.
And also a little disclaimer about the other beings that live in my house, because they might walk by the screen at some point.
Yes.
But yeah, basically, I'm Gina. I'm 35. I live in Amsterdam. I live together with 2 cats. I call them orange cats in disguise. They are tuxedo cats, but there's a lot more to them. They are called Pookie and Vessie, and I'm just checking to see which ones are here. Maybe I can show them later if you want.
Yes. Yeah, we all love cats.
Yeah.
So how did you get into being a Memefluencer, a FOSS person, the head of Fosstodon? How did you get into this crazy Fediverse thing?
Yeah, so first, I wouldn't call myself the head of Fosstodon because there's a whole team. We're very equal. There are 2 other admins, Brandon and Chris, and a team full of mods. And so by no means use that term, but don't use that term. How I got here. So years ago, at least 7 years, I was the IT person, the IT admin manager of an international nonprofit in Amsterdam, a feminist fund called Mama Cash. And I had the privilege of building their internal IT environments. And because they wanted ethical IT, they did not want to use big tech. So no Google, Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Microsoft. Especially that last one. That one was a challenge. So I looked online and I tried to find resources and communities about FOSS, and I ended up on Twitter. And after 5 minutes, I had my first death threats, and I looked around and found Fosstodon. Yeah, even 7 years ago.
Brilliant. So, are you still with Mama Cash? I showed a web browser of Mama Cash because I had never heard of it before.
They do great work. It's a very nice organization.
Well, and I don't think it's really directed at me per se. How did you get involved with them? Did you go to school to be an IT manager? Is it something you enjoyed as a kid? Did you just fall into it? How did you get into it?
Well, I didn't go to school for it. I will say I think I was always interested in tech, and I was a
Mhm.
bit of a nerd growing up. Yeah,
We
and
all
I
are.
liked gaming and I liked figuring out how things worked. But I actually
Mhm.
studied political sciences and public policy. Uh, and during that time, I was involved in a lot of social activism. And every activist needs, every collective needs a website. And I would always
Mhm.
be the one building the website for whatever cause we were angry about that week. So I knew a bit of programming. And after graduating and realizing that political scientist isn't an actual job, I transitioned into IT. And I became a Java developer for a while. Then I started working for Mama Cash. So the IT components were already coming together, together with a bit of strategy and project management. And then after I think 5 years I was there, I moved on to consulting.
It's interesting that you say that you started as political science and then moved to IT.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do in school, and I actually was in political science. And
Really?
then yeah, and then I transferred to another school. They didn't have a political science department, but they did have a criminal justice. So my bachelor's is actually in criminal justice. And right as 2008 hit, there were no jobs anywhere. So I went back to school, and I actually got my master's in computer information systems. So our background is actually
Very
very
similar.
similar. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm right there with you with the political science stuff. It's absolutely fascinating, but unless you want to be like a politician's aide, which I never wanted to do,
Yeah.
there's not a lot out there analyzing data, doing politics. That stuff it's one of those you take it because it's cool and interesting, and then you're like, cool. Now what? Don't
And
know.
now what?
And then we end up in IT, right? We all end up in IT.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I ended up, I mean, I do government IT now.
Mhm.
So it sort of all came together again.
So, and you don't have to say government IT. Like, so you're located in Amsterdam. Do you do it for the Netherlands? Or again, you don't have to get
Yes.
into that if you don't want.
Yeah, currently just for the national government.
See,
It's,
but that's
believe me, it's nothing exciting. So,
no, but you say that. And the way I look at something like this is like every organization has to have their IT people, right? And when they go looking for new IT technologies and whatnot, you have an inside track to be like, hey, have you heard of the Fediverse stuff? And I know in government, it's nowhere near that easy, right? It's all kinds of red tape, and they're not going to jump on it immediately. But I see that as, we have people everywhere that are kind of insiders into this thing, and we can hopefully push that. I'm
yeah.
guessing you have different thoughts on it, though, so I'd love to hear that.
No, 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 absolutely not. I agree with you. And what is nice and what I've been pleasantly surprised with is that adoption of at least Mastodon within the Fediverse is already being seriously discussed within our national government and within a couple of governments in Europe, at least. So it's starting to become more noticeable. I believe I was at a conference last Friday called Public Spaces, and they had a few guests from government entities as well, and they said that the European Commission and the European Parliament are on the Fediverse as well. So we're starting to get known, which is good.
Yes, yeah. I mean, it validates that it's not just for us hobbyists, nerds, right?
Yeah,
We tend to lean towards, cell phone, self-hosted, self-controlled kinds of things, which a lot of people don't. But the fact that governments are taking it seriously, and you know, I would like your take on this as well. I don't attribute it to Mastodon being the perfect tool or PeerTube
Mhm.
being the perfect tool, but we are at the right time, at the right place, in history to make this change.
Yeah.
Do you get those kinds of thoughts or feelings? Or sorry, they're spamming jars in my chat because I drink water out of a jar.
Really.
Yeah, it's a nice mason jar. It's really big. I got a lot of water that I can drink out of it. I think it's good. I'm hating my
Okay, I
jar.
can't see the chat, so
Yeah, that's fine. Um, but do you get a hint as to why? I mean, we've heard of the EU wanting digital sovereignty. Is that
Yeah,
is that a big thing? Do you want to talk about digital sovereignty and where you
yeah,
guys?
sure. Yeah, it's also a big part of my work, and it's been very satisfying to see talk about FOSS moving from, oh, that's like a hobby project from some nerds in an attic, versus oh, we might be able to save some money with this if we self-host. That's nice. To now it being integral to digital sovereignty and autonomy, and it's really nice to see that recognition and to see people understanding the consequences of only choosing big tech. Yeah,
Yeah, no, and it one of the things I think it was on Fedi forum that someone kind of raised to me that the whole Microsoft having to pause a UN, was it a UN president or something's account due to
yeah,
American sanctions. Not to get into politics, but it kind of gave everyone else around the world like, hey, that is an American company, and if our goals don't align with theirs, they can kind of punish us for it. And
yeah.
I think at
That
this
is
point, sorry, go ahead.
no. I think that's being taken very serious now. Whereas in the
Yeah,
past it was like, ah, Microsoft would never do that. But now we have examples.
right. And it seems like the EU is really taking the lead on open sourcing, at least Europe.
Yeah,
Is that kind of how you feel? We got it. We got
I think
in.
so. Yeah, I see a lot of initiatives. Yeah.
That's exciting. So how did you get into open source?
Well, mostly I think Mama Cash was the big catalyst.
Hmm.
I already knew some, I was a poor student at one point, so I knew LibreOffice.
Yeah.
um, but when I started working for Mama Cash, I really got involved in all of these communities, in all of the options that were out there, even 7 years ago. I actually wrote a blog post today that was long overdue by at least a few years because I promised years ago when I joined Fosstodon and when I asked, hey guys, do you want to hear about our FOSS adventure, that I would keep them in the loop and would regularly update, which I did for a while. And then, yeah, it just kind of fell off. I think also because it was very stressful to manage, that I was kind of over it after a while. But I did stay on Fosstodon because I love the community and I love learning about all of the FOSS that's out there. I just don't use it at work anymore. But that's what got me into FOSS.
Out of necessity, then essentially is what
Yeah,
it is.
from like a professional setting, yeah. And then I've been involved. Well, I've been interested in it from a personal interest as well.
There's nothing quite like it, right? Like there's this massive curve to learn, but once you get to the top of it, you realize you really can control the whole thing. And it's the same, at least with me, for the Fediverse. Is I kind of get addicted to it. Like, oh, a new toy. I want to see how it works. Do you feel
Yeah,
that?
absolutely. And also just the admiration that I have for these whole communities that build something like LibreOffice. Like, can you imagine just being able to compete with a company like Microsoft that throws billions at their solution, and then it's just a bunch of volunteers that make this
Right?
whole product? It's
It's
incredible.
amazing. Do
Yeah.
you? So I have your and folks can go read this at ginablogs.com. Building a FOSS environment then and now. Do you want to talk about your blog post? I have it up right now.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, because I did have fun with it. It was nice to post something positive again and a little throwback. And I mean, most of the blog says it already. I would only recommend doing this. So building a whole self-hosted, fully FOSS environment if you really know what you're doing. And I will be honest with you, when I was doing this with my coworker, when we were a two-person IT department, we did not know what we were doing. But it was a really good learning curve. Like, yeah,
Yeah, you learn and you fail, and that's how you learn some more. I do like that it says, and I think we all still kind of land on this, is email is really not one for self-hosting. Email still to this day is a nightmare, not only because of how old it is and how much work you have to do, but also still because of folks like Google, and people are still on Yahoo or Hotmail or things like that, right? Like it's so easy to get blocked on those things.
Yeah, I am having Vietnam flashbacks.
Well, and
email's the worst.
It's interesting because 7 years is not a lot of time. You've ramped up fast. You've done a lot in 7 years, right? So,
have I?
I mean, email. Well, maybe it was just that you didn't know what you were getting into when you jumped on email. Is that what it is?
Yeah. Basically.
But then that's admirable. Even in, at the company I work at, everyone's afraid to touch anything else that they don't know of, and you're just like, hell with it. Let's try.
I think it might have helped at that time that we were at the start of the Dunning-Kruger thing, the graph. We really did not know what we didn't know. And that was great. There was all this optimism. Oh, we're just going to do this. And then along the way, we learned. It was very fun. It was very educational.
Yeah.
Would I recommend this again? Yeah, I'd be careful about it.
Don't host email.
I think it's possible. Just for the love of everything, do not do it all at once.
Oh yeah, no. So yeah, you've done email. You're an admin of Fosstodon. I saw Nextcloud hosting, Mattermost. Saw a whole bunch of things. Is there anything that you particularly enjoy that you would recommend if someone wants to try a separate piece and they want to run their own? What would you start with if you knew today?
I mean, depends on their level of knowledge and expertise. I mean, for every Linux newbie, I always recommend start with Linux Mint. That is my favorite distro. It's just so friendly and usable, out of the box, simple. And then work your way up to apps that you can host or that you can use hosted online that are free and open source. Because even just see an app that looks different from the Microsoft products that you're used to can already be a step along the way.
What distro are you on?
It's going to sound terrible. I have a laptop laying there open on my table that is supposed to have Linux Mint, but this laptop still has Windows, so I'm very sorry.
That's fine. What? It's a tool.
I think you've tried all the distros as well, right?
No one can try all the distros because all of them are constantly coming out constantly. But yes, I was the standard typical nerd of, ooh, there's a new distro, I'm going to try it this week. Oh, there's a new distro, I'm going to try it this week. I'm on this computer, I'm on Debian. On that computer, it's Fedora. Downstairs, it's Fedora Silverblue. I go try it and test it at this point. But so outside of, I'm assuming there's a Gina that exists that isn't spending all of her time on open source and spending all of her time on Fosstodon. What else do you do? Do you take your cats for walks?
Oh, I wish I could. Yeah. Well, there has been a lot of Fosstodon in the past few weeks. We'll surely touch on that at some point. But to keep me sane, I go bouldering a lot, which is climbing without rope on walls that only go up to like 4 meters. And then there's a thick mat underneath. It's very technical. Yeah. Well, see, I've been doing it for years. And occasionally I'll get someone asking like, oh, so you must be really good at it. You would think that. Yeah.
Well, it's all referential, right? Mm-hmm. Are you better today than you were when you started?
Yeah.
Are you better today than a year ago?
I think I used to be more active. I think the 35 is really hitting me.
It's not that old. I'm 44. What are you saying?
Yeah, No, it's a slow scale. Okay.
No, but and that's one of the things that I do Krav Maga, and a lot of people are like, well, I'm not as good as you, or I'm not as good as them. It's like, it doesn't matter. Are you
No, it
better
doesn't
than you
matter as
were?
long as you have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we don't always have to compare ourselves to others. Um, but you also play games.
I do. I should see if I have it around here. I have a pink Steam Deck, and yeah, it looks amazing. I love it. And I'm
I
playing
love this.
Ori Will of the Wisps.
Oh, beautiful game. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I'm
Or
completely addicted.
I can't do Metroidvanias. I get really frustrated. But Ori, there's something about Ori that just like takes me into it. It's just so beautiful. I don't even feel like I'm playing. Like, it just
Yeah.
is that your favorite game, is Ori, or what's?
No, I would. I mean, on the Steam Deck, it's a tough choice because there's so many options. I also have a Switch, and then it's basically Zelda. Because what else? But on Steam Deck, no, not sure. Do you have
Okay.
a? Are you into gaming at all?
Oh yeah, I have a Steam Deck. I love my Steam Deck. My kids and I, we play video games all the time.
What?
It's for someone that grew up playing video games by themselves, like playing with my kids is just amazing. We recently are playing PopUcom. If you don't know that, basically think of what is it, like match threes? You shoot the balls and it matches the three and then it falls off. But it's a 3D platformer, and you have to have two people and you have to work together. And so my oldest and I have been playing this, and one of the bosses that we're fighting is like, we can't do this, let's give up. And I'm like, no, we're not giving up, we're gonna keep trying. And then the very next time we got so close, and he's like, oh, one more. And it's so excited to see them get like really active and into it. It's amazing. You
That's
can't
super cute.
you can't experience a game for the first time again, but you can experience someone else's experience to a game the first time, and it is massively more exciting and fun. So I highly recommend you
Oh, I'm
steal some
excited for this. I
children
have a
somewhere, and no, don't steal any children. I'm kidding.
no. I have a 3-year-old nephew, so just a few more years,
Yes,
and I'll start
yes,
stealing.
yes,
Oh, that's
absolutely do
really
that.
good.
So then,
So what are you
when
playing at the moment then? Wait.
what do I play?
Yeah.
So I'm playing PopUcom with my oldest.
Oh, you
My
said that.
youngest
Yeah.
pretty much only ever wants to play Minecraft, which kids go nuts over Minecraft still. I'm
I
not.
don't get it. No.
I mean, I was there when it was created. I was like, yeah, this is kind of cool, and I had a phase where I played it, and I don't know. And
Yeah.
like, we'll find other things to play. So I'm trying to think. What do we play? I'm looking forward to Towerborn, that's coming out soon. That is a online beat 'em up that's going to be free to play. What have I been playing? Risk of Rain 2 is excellent, which one of my members of my community bought me. That's been a heck of a... Oh, Abiotic Factor. Abiotic Factor is great. If you've ever played Half-Life 2 and you're like,
Yeah.
hey, Half-Life 2, but I want it to be silly and weird and I want it to be a survival game, that's Abiotic Factor, and it is amazing.
All
I
right.
love it. Yeah, it's great. And you can play with other people. I love it.
I wrote them down, so I'll check them out.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, and I'll give you
That's
more.
good.
I have like 800 games now, but I've had my Steam account for 20 years. That makes me feel so old. But
Yeah.
so when you're not bouldering or doing a job or playing video games in your free time, you're also an admin of Fosstodon.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you want to? How did you get involved with that? As much or as little as you want to talk about. What is the current state of Fosstodon, and where do you see it going?
Yeah, that's and those are good questions and lots to talk about.
Yes.
I joined Fosstodon 6 years ago when I wanted to learn more about FOSS, and I ended up in this FOSS community that was super welcoming and super nice, and people were genuinely interested in what we were doing, and I could see what other people were doing, so that was all great. I also got to know the previous admins, Kevin, Mike, as just genuine great guys, just doing their best uh, to sort of upscale this hobby that completely got out of hand, because they started the server as like this little corner for their friends, and all of a sudden it's massive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Kevin and Mike had been around for are still around for 8 years doing this in their free time. And as a new admin, I can tell you now that it's a lot of work. There's a lot of there's a lot of work involved, which I'm happy to do. But I can imagine that after 8 years, you are tired. So what
Yeah.
happened is that they had a moderator who had said some things on Reddit which weren't great, a bit disparaging. That moderator left. Kevin, Mike also, um, were tired, and they quit as well. And with that, there was the possibility that Fosstodon would disappear.
Hmm.
So I posted about it and offered Kevin Mike to pick up the admin baton to see if we could maybe continue Fosstodon with a new team under their with a bit of help from them transitioning. And they agreed to that. They were very supportive of it, and we've been building the team ever since.
Well,
Yeah.
I can't imagine what it would be like, having started something, putting so much time and energy into it, and then like that had to be gut wrenching for them. That
Yeah.
it's we get burned out. We have our priorities in life change, but you never want to fully walk away. That's one of the biggest fears that I have in attempting to run some kind of platform is that someday I'm going to have to walk away, and hopefully we have someone that can take it over. How long did you folks talk about you taking over before they kind of handed you the keys?
That was a few days of just aligning on, hey guys, where are you at with your energy levels? What do you want to see for the future? How can I, if I'm allowed to do this, how can I yeah, do that in the best way possible?
Yeah.
It wasn't that long. It was just a few days during which we decided, okay, we'll continue this, and I'll do my best yeah, to have keep Foster on as it is.
Yeah. Well, and that's it's a difficult situation, right? One of the things that I've talked to folks about before is we're not all going to agree on everything. That's a weakness of the Fediverse is that people tend to go to specific areas that we might disagree with, but then that's also the strength of the Fediverse because you can find a community of your own that aligns, right? Is
Yeah.
that so Fosstodon is, I'm assuming, a community centered around free and open source technology.
Yeah.
What do you look for in a community member?
We have a whole code of conduct, which will get a refresh soon, by the way, but I'll tell about that later. We have a whole code of conduct for users to understand well what we offer as a platform, as Fosstodon, as a server, and what is expected of them. So I hope with that it will be clear. I think you can also, just by joining the Fediverse or by joining Fosstodon, get a really good sense of what the place is about.
I think this is an interesting place where we diverge from standard social media as well, right? We
Yeah.
we have the understanding that on something like Twitter or Facebook, sorry, X or Facebook or whatever, that yes, they have their community guidelines and you can't go against that, and they're loosening those, whether that's good or bad. I'll leave it up to everyone else to decide. I have my opinions on it, but it folks seem to need to be more focused in the Fediverse on what community they're joining. Would you say that we need to kind of be more open and honest with people? Like not every community is going to be for you.
Yeah, In part, yeah. I think it's also a feature of the Fediverse to have
Right.
people be able to spin up their own server and focus on whatever they want, which I think
Yeah.
is nice. Yeah. Sorry, are you looking at the chat or?
No, I'm kind of they're flying. I'm kind of looking at the chat and looking at. I have multiple monitors, so I have a new setup, and I'm trying to figure out how to lay things out. So I'm kind of I'm looking in the camera, but I'm looking at you, and then I'm looking at chat, and yeah, it's a lot. But anyway,
Well, that's cool. I mean, I heard you say you also had a teleprompter now, so it sounds very
yes,
professional.
it's
Yeah.
not. It it's not. It looks like I got a couple of pieces of garbage and slapped them together, but hey, it works, and I think it at least look. Ruth says, "Don't look here," as I look over there. Um, uh, I'm completely distracted by chat now and what we were talking. Oh, is
If chat is saying anything interesting that is worth discussing, please let me know. I can't see the chat, guys, so I can't.
no,
Participate.
yeah, I normally if someone asks like an interesting question, I try to ask as long as it aligns with it. But normally chat talks about, whatever is going on. It's that's one of the reasons why I like the live stream stuff, is because folks, you don't feel alone, but as we were talking before we started, it's very kind of nerve-wracking. It makes you anxious and nervous to start. But
Yeah.
that also makes us human. Like I leave in when I flub. I flub, lines all the time and things like that. But again, that's human. We're human. We're not perfect. We have emotions, right?
Yeah,
I think you have emotions. You might just be an AI for all I know. I've never met you personally.
maybe. Yeah, I think that's a really good segue into yeah, we're all human and we make mistakes as well. And there have been a
Yes.
few since I started as an admin for Fosstodon.
Okay.
So I'd like to be very transparent about that as well. There
Yeah.
have been a few things that I could have done better, and I am I'm very willing to admit that I've made a few mistakes in the beginning in my first 2 weeks as being an admin that were not great. So, for example, Kevin Mike left because of the criticism about a moderator saying
Mm-hmm.
disparaging things. And then I came on as an admin and formed a team. And immediately, in our very large team of very dedicated, very nice people, there was also a moderator who didn't have the trust of the community that much because he had written a blog that was not the best worded and a bit both sidey. It wasn't that great.
Right.
Honestly, in hindsight, that's a blog like that is fine for a user, not for a moderator. I have learned that, and I
Sure.
do want to apologize for that. I made the wrong mistake there, or the wrong choice there. So
Yeah.
that was my mistake. I then also gave a response to that event that was also not great. Uh, I did apologize for sort of defending that mod and choosing him.
Okay.
But what I also did and should not have done was lumping in the very valid criticism that I got for choosing that mod and defending him, with some people that just want to watch the world burn. And we have a few of those on the Fediverse
Yes.
that are just angry. And that was
Yes.
not fair because 99% of the criticism that I got was very valid. And
Mm-hmm.
I plowed through, I don't know how many threads of messages to really understand where I'd gone wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I see that now. So again, my apologies. I'm sorry. This shouldn't have happened, and it won't happen again. We also have a really great team now of people that have years of moderating experience and years of community building experience. So I am fairly confident in saying that this was a mishap and that
Yeah.
we aim to do better and we will.
And I think, I mean, I'm not on Fosstodon. I'm on my own instance.
Mm.
I report to myself. I have had folks that are like, hey, this is an issue. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, I could see how that's an issue. And I think that you've been very, as you said, very transparent about it. Um, And I agree. Being a regular user is not the same as being a moderator. Like
Mm.
being a moderator is more akin to not necessarily the same, and this is for lack of a better analogy, but being a police officer. Having that kind of responsibility is you have to hold yourself up a little bit higher, right? And having that responsibility, people feel that you can abuse it easier. And
Yeah.
you've
I
been
oh, sorry, not to
no,
interrupt
no,
you,
no.
but I do want to explain something about our moderation process.
Yeah.
And that also sort of explains my thought process at the time. So
Mhm.
we have a big team of moderators. We are all on a Mattermost server, and every time a report comes in, it comes into a special channel where all the
Nice.
moderators have access, and you
Mhm.
can reply to each report, just like in a regular chat application. So every report will be seen by the whole team. Usually, for easy reports, we have about 5 people responding with their opinion on what to do. All the
Oh,
senior
great.
moderators are also involved. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and with that action taken on a report, that is then relayed, and we check it in the channel and both in the report. So there is always multiple moderators looking at each report, if not the whole team. So there's
Okay.
never a chance of a moderator going rogue or being unfair
That's
without
excellent.
anyone seeing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially now. So I did want to explain that it still wasn't a
Yeah.
great choice, but it was in about what was in the back of my mind when I selected that mod, thinking like, well, they gave good answers to the survey. They are very um, um, committed. Well. Um, Involved during the user
Yes.
training. We did a whole moderator training. So that was sort of on my mind. It still wasn't the best choice and also not the best response. So I think, yeah, sorry guys for that.
And
And sorry for all the
well,
drama.
but again, you've been very open and receptive to those kinds of things, right? And there's going to be issues that happen in the future. None of us are perfect, and
Probably.
you're learning in a lot, and you're learning from it, right? And I
Yeah.
think that the steps you took, again, I don't have a vested interest in it, right? But the steps that you took were noble, and I think that that's a good thing. And hopefully your community has been very receptive. One of the folks in chat actually said, if someone's saying you're making a mistake, that means that someone cares about what you're doing. And
Oh
I
yeah.
absolutely agree about that. We're not going to say we're not going to get into the nitty details there. There's blog posts up if folks want to go find them. Again,
Yeah.
this is
There might
about
still be a
Gina.
statement, but for now, yeah, this is also about me admitting, hey guys, I am new.
Yeah,
I'll try my best. I made mistakes. That was not good. We aim to do better. And I
and
have full confidence that with that team, it will happen.
it's all volunteer. We have to remember that we're all
That's
still trying to
true.
figure this thing out. We're all trying to figure it out. We all want the best for it. They wouldn't volunteer if, not excusing anyone, but we all need to remember to have. I'm very, very happy because when that came off really weird, I'm very happy at you saying that it was mostly constructive criticism, is what it sounded like, right? Which
A lot, yeah.
is a great thing because me personally, I was very afraid to get on social media because I didn't want, to get flamed into nothing. And it happens. There are people that get very upset and they will say things to you, and it's like, well, this is how I feel. Like I'm not going to try and convince you, but it is nice to hear that it was so constructive. How many folks are on Fosstodon? Do you know?
Uh, we have about 60,000 users, of which 10,000 are considered active, or 9,000. I'm not entirely sure. It varies. But yeah, it's a big server.
Yeah,
So it's important that we do this right. We're affecting a lot of people. So
yeah,
I'm honestly honored to be in that position, but I'm also very happy to have a whole team together now. And
yeah.
it's not about me. It's about our community.
Right. And having constructive criticism will ensure that Gina and the moderators continue on the same path that the community expects, right?
Yeah.
It's important to speak up in a respectful manner.
Absolutely. Yeah. And most people did that. So sorry to lump them in with people who, aren't that well behaved, but those are very few.
10,000 is an amazing number. Like that I can't imagine how difficult that is. Again, I've retreated to my own server. I only want to worry about myself. So
To be honest, we're very lucky with our community. It's just a very nice group of people. And what I find cool is that when I joined, it felt like a group of individuals talking about tech, but because I've been here for a few years, it really feels like a community. So.
That's even like the Fediverse in general, to me, feels like a community. Like we all have a vested interest in seeing this thing succeed. We might disagree on the details about how to get there, right? But we can all take our own route to get there, and that's awesome to hear.
Yeah, and there's also a lot of good stuff coming soon.
Do you want to talk about it?
Oh yeah, I kind of do. If that's okay.
Absolutely.
Because we are refreshing and this is by no means an official statement. I'm just giving a quick update on what we're working on. There will be an official post at some point, of course. But we're very excited about a few things. And I have a few people on my team who work so hard on this. It's so cool to see. Because we're refreshing our code of conduct. That was due to get some more clarity and to explain a few things. And we also have a moderator and a team covenant coming soon, which are just basically like an agreement for our team on what we commit to. And it might be nice to be open about that, to show the community what we stand for and what we intend to do.
Right.
We would also like the community to be more involved in steering Fosstodon. So what I am very excited about, which I was already sort of trying to get on the agenda when Kevin and Mike were still around, is an upvote tool called Fider. So I don't know if you heard of this. Do you know upvotes at all? A lot of companies have it where you can like submit ideas and then people.
Yeah.
So experimenting with that. We're seeing if that could work for Fosstodon, which would be interesting. And other ways of getting input from users.
Yeah, I would assume that you're open to suggestions too, right? So anyone in Fosstodon, like, hey, have you checked out this tool, or hey, have you looked at that kind of thing?
Oh, yeah. If there is ever a community to ask about FOSS tools or tech we could use,
that's one thing you never have to worry about with the free and open source community is someone wanting to talk about free and open source software. Right? We're all so excited and passionate about it. Like, just walk in, with Linux on your machine, and any Linux nerd will start talking to you about it. It's great because, again, it's that sense of community that most of us don't even think. What Eddie says, yeah. Who's talking? Yeah, everyone, every single one, and we all have our inside jokes about Arch, by the way, and things like that. So,
yeah. So one of our admins, Brandon, is working on this. He put up a test server. We still have to see if we can use Authentic, which is a single sign-on server.
Yes, right.
If we can use that to connect to Fosstodon so that users are automatically logged into this upvote tool, and it's all details, but it's just cool to find a way to gather feedback from the community.
Yes.
And I personally, the first thing that I would like to ask, and this is sort of more of a personal preference, is about our long-term goal of possibly opening up the server again. Because right now, Fosstodon is invite only, which if I would have joined 6 years ago and I would have had to email someone for an invite, that would have been quite a big threshold. Mm-hmm. So I would love for it to be open again and for people to find Fosstodon to discuss tech or FOSS.
Yeah. No, and that's really you've been setting up all of the community decisions, and that is a big community decision, right? Because you want more
We
people,
need to
you want,
decide.
yeah, you want new faces, you want to help people, but also it brings in folks that might not align with your goals, and it's such a difficult balance. Like,
Mm.
and that's a big that's again, I find it excellent that you want to include the community so much in something like that, and hopefully they enjoy it and appreciate it as well.
Yeah, I
Is
hope so.
is there anything else? So right now, you guys, right now, Fosstodon is fully supported through donations, right?
Yeah.
And so if you go to hub.fosstodon.org/support, you have Patreon, LibrePay, donate. Oh, you get stickers.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm
Of
showing.
course, we're a part of the sticker economy. Yeah. Yeah, we might do something with that in the future. Maybe offer some merch or something. I don't know. But so far, yeah, we're very grateful to have such a passionate community of users who actually donate to keep the server going. Because I don't know if you saw, but for example, Stux, who was on your show as well. You have a lot of Dutch people on your show, by the way. Love it. um, sorry, you do want to say something about that, don't you?
No, I was just gonna say all the Dutch love the Fediverse, and I love them for loving the Fediverse. So I'll keep talking to more Dutch folks. I'm totally fine with that.
I really appreciated you trying to pronounce Loudons. Like you did really well.
Oh, we got
Or
during a quiz. I asked some questions in the past, which you get a refresh of, and I'm going to mispronounce more Dutch things. So please give me the right pronunciations and feel free to laugh at me because I only speak two languages, English and bad English. So I don't speak Dutch. Sorry. Um,
oh, don't worry, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. So please don't.
it's a beautiful language sometimes.
Sometimes,
It's
yeah.
yeah, it's but so but you guys are so you're saying about stocks.
Oh, sure, yeah. I saw a post recently of him asking the community, "Hey guys, we're I think 660 euros short," and the community immediately pitched in because he has a really cool community on the server as well. But it does show how vulnerable that setup is. But I think
Yes.
so far we've been fine, so I'm very grateful for that. I think Kevin Mike set it up in a way that we have like a runway of 6 months, and
Oh,
then
excellent.
we need to see. Yeah, so we're good.
Okay. Excellent. Well, I'm gonna make sure that I put the support information still in the show notes in the description. That's what I was thinking of in the videos and in all of that. So if folks can donate, again, remember, pretty much the entire Fediverse is run by donations. We're still trying to figure it out, and by helping Fosstodon, even if you run your own, you know, if Fosstodon hits a bug, I would imagine they report it, and that flows down. So by helping one, we're helping the whole collective.
Oh, well, that's appreciated.
We appreciate you guys for doing it. But is there anything else you wanted to talk about before we get on to the most important part of the show, which is the quiz?
Oh, oh, I have something bad to admit. I don't think I've watched like 5 episodes of your podcast so far, and I don't think I've ever made it to the quiz. I'm sorry. You'll have to explain it to me.
I'm glad I'm so interesting that
You are. Oh,
it's
you are, but oh, sorry about that. But
no no
what is the quiz?
no, you and I were talking about it. Well, I don't know if I was talking to you. I'm surprised anyone listens to this. Like, I don't think I'm interesting, but I'm so glad they listen for you folks because you all are the interesting ones. But no, that means it's extra fun and special because it's your first time with the quiz, which
Oh,
is, if I may say so, the most serious and the most important part of the show. So Are you ready?
Yep. Yeah.
All right. So now for the real reason I asked Gina here is to give her the opportunity to win a prize of a lifetime. Our prizes, because there are multiple today, are tuxedos for your tuxedo cats. Because
had I known.
because they deserve to feel pretty too.
They do.
I thought about getting you some rocks, as we know you enjoy rock climbing, but I went to my local hardware store and they had just bags of rocks and I just could climb up them. So I don't understand the point of that. But hey, tuxedos are more fancy. Are you ready for the quiz, Gina?
I am.
All right. So ready. Favorite movie and why is it Spaceballs?
Obviously Spaceballs.
Yes. Is it really?
Sure. Yeah.
Well, there's Spaceballs 2 now, so maybe eventually, but maybe there'll be Spaceballs 2. What is your favorite movie, if you have a favorite movie?
Oh, I do, and it's a sappy rom-com.
That's okay. Which one is it?
It's Notting Hill with Hugh Grant and Julia Roberts.
I've never seen it. I've heard of it. I know of it. I have never seen Notting Hill. Yeah, Notting Hill. Right?
And then you laugh about me not having heard of Spaceballs? What? Well, definitely watch it.
We circle in different spheres is why. So one of my members of my community, I had him watch it. His response was, "It's silly." And I responded with, "I know, it's great, isn't it?" He's like, "No, it's silly." Oh. I was like, "Oh, okay." I find it hilarious, but it's not for everyone.
I'll have to watch that.
Next question: windmills, tulips, or wooden shoes? Because I know that being in the Netherlands, you're wearing wooden shoes now, right?
Yeah,
obviously.
Yeah, and tulips all around. And,
yes, yeah. Your house is made of tulips and windmills.
Obviously, I live in a big clog. Yeah. I would go with windmills because they're actually useful.
I've heard that. That amazes me that they're still functional. That they're not just like touristy thing. I love tulips though. I think tulips are beautiful. Do you guys actually have fields of tulips?
We do. It's outside of Amsterdam though.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, you can walk in fields and then have these cutesy tourist pictures taken, and it's actually nice.
See, I would just go there and lay in a field of tulips. I feel like that wouldn't get old for me. But I don't have fields of tulips right outside my city, so
So what do you do to feel whimsical?
I had kids. I don't feel whimsical anymore. I feel whimsy when they feel whimsy. It's whimsy by proxy.
Oh, that's rough. I love it.
Yeah, that's all I got. I don't know. Okay. Next question, and here's where I'm going to need your help.
Okay.
Hagelslag.
I see we did our research. Okay.
Pannenkoeken. Is that right?
Yeah.
Pannenkoeken or stroopwafel.
Oh my gosh, how can that be a question? If stroopwafels is within the options, done.
Yeah. Oh, and we've actually gotten them here, and it's hilarious because I have known about stroopwafels. I'll just pronounce it the American way, stroopwafels. I've known about them for 5 or 10 years from folks on the Fediverse, and when I found out about them, I ordered some. I was like, yeah, those are great. And then everyone I talked to, and I was like, have you tried this thing? It's amazing. Yes, I guess I'm cultured, but yeah.
Yes, you are.
So,
have you done the thing where you melt them above a cup of tea or coffee?
Tea. Oh yeah. No, I do tea with it, and it's 100%. I think it was Lau. I can't pronounce his name. Go ahead.
Laurens.
I think I asked him these questions, and he said the same. Or was it Stux? But what
bubbles every time.
It has to be, right? I mean, pannenkoeken seems okay. and then you get to Hagelslag. Who was thinking that?
So for anyone at home wondering what hagelslag is, it is chocolate sprinkles that we put onto toasted bread with, or not even toasted actually, with butter, and then you just put chocolate on your bread, and it's amazing. Yeah, I
My
honestly.
kid, this is the kind of thing my 5-year-old would come up with and be like, you can't have that. And now I'm gonna have to tell him there's an entire country of people that eat like this.
Oh, I mean, the Dutch are not exactly known for their like culinary traditions, or except for sweet. We're good at
speaking
sweets.
to, speaking to an American, we just deep fry everything. So.
Yeah.
But it is good, isn't it? Like, but yes,
I've always been curious about trying something like deep fried butter. That's that's on my list.
I've not even tried like the deep fried Oreos that we have at the fair. I've seen deep fried Snickers. Like I can't do it. So yes, stroopwafels are great though. Love stroopwafels. So next question: what does an alternate universe Gina do?
Oh, alternate universe Gina. I don't know. I feel like my alternate universe Gina would have the same guilty pleasures as I do right now. So I'd probably lay in bed playing Ori.
All right.
What do other people answer to this question? What would you answer?
Yes.
Yes. I mean, anyone who has known me on the Fediverse for a bit longer knows that I yearn for this life in the mountains of Greece, overlooking the sea, just becoming like a goat shepherd or something.
Oh, there
So
you
that
go.
would be my alternate Gina. Yeah.
There you
It
go.
will happen someday. I swear, I promise.
So I reached out to an alternate universe Gina. I have an alternate universe phone here. Don't ask how it works. It's very, very technical.
I see.
And when I reached out to the alternate universe Gina, she said she's actually a yak saver. And
Oh,
I asked what a yak saver was, and she says, well, she's investing in yaks and she's waiting for the return to give dividends, but she can't find anyone that'll give her interest on her yaks. So I wish alternate universe Gina a best of luck. But you were going to say something.
I cannot see or hear about yaks anymore. I wrote a blog about it, and
Yes.
yeah, the yaks. I'm over it.
That's where I got this from.
Exactly. Yeah. For context, it came from yak shaving, which is in my circles a well-known term for doing these, starting like a chore or a job and then getting completely sidetracked by all of these little side quests that you have to do in order to do the job, and then all of a sudden you're in a field shaving a yak, which has been the admin experience for Fosstodon for me.
Yeah. No, and I had never heard of shaving a yak until I read that blog, and then I was like, oh, okay, I see where she's going. Like that is.
I'm glad to have introduced that.
Do you have a lot of yaks there? Like,
I have one, and it's very bald. No.
You've learned your lesson. You've shaved him once. It was a nightmare just to keep him shaved, right?
Right. Yeah. Every side quest, another piece of the yak shaving. Yeah.
All right. Next question. I mean, what could be more normal than talking about yak shaving? So the next question is up or down?
Up.
Up?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Are you sure up is that really?
What is it? Yeah, it's up. It's up.
Yeah. Okay. Up is a good answer.
I mean, I climb for fun, huh? So up is the way.
But then you come down.
Yeah, that's the other part. Oh, that's actually fun too. Sailing down.
Yeah. Do you rappel down?
I do. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I've gone. Yeah, I've gone rappelling like once or twice, and it is horrifying and so much fun.
Right?
Yeah.
As life should be.
Yeah. No, I'm afraid of heights, and I hated it. And then I get to the bottom, like I want to do that again.
Yo, and you still did that?
Oh yeah. Why not?
No.
Yeah. It's fun.
That's wow. That's very impressive. Wow.
And then finally, as usual,
Hmm.
our last question will be sent to Gina telepathically. I'll
Hmm.
send you the question. I'll let you know when it arrives. You'll obviously know because you and I are telepathic and you'll get the message. But for our audio listeners, we'll give them a cue to let it know it's there. And then once you get the question, just feel free to take your time. Give me your answer when you're ready and we'll discuss it. Okay? You ready?
Yes.
Okay.
That's a big one though.
Yeah.
That's very deep.
Yeah.
Oof.
I'm pretty amazing like that. What can I say?
Yeah, I don't know I'll have to think about that one. I think my answer would be uh, would be blue.
Blue?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
out of left field.
Hmm.
I did not catch. I never would have thought blue would be the. It's not 42, so and that's a good thing. So many people say 42. Mike thinks it's 42. That's not. I mean, that is not the question. So, but nice try, Mike.
But then, yeah.
Congratulations. Yeah,
Thank you.
congratulations.
Are the people in the chat wondering about the question or what's
Yeah,
happening?
no, they just said it's obviously 42. This is a thing we do.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, I
anyone
was
that's
wrong.
listening knows this isn't serious in the least. So,
Good.
yeah. Congratulations, you got every answer either correct or incorrect. Good job.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, I figured that every cat knows each other, so I gave the tuxedos to my cat, and
Ah,
she let me know that they're now hers, and then she promptly threw up on them, as cats
as
do.
cats do.
Yeah. We'll make sure to scold her and then give her extra pats and rubs because she's just the goodest kitty. Where is she? I don't know.
Oh, is she
She's
around?
yeah. Oh
You
yeah. She
want
hangs
to?
out in my.
Can we see? Has she been
Oh,
on screen before?
somewhat.
Oh, I see.
I know. I'm disturbing you. You're sleeping.
Oh, what a cutie!
That's good, Diva.
She looks old, but very
She's
cute.
17.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Oh, she
she's
doesn't look that old.
no. She looks really good for 17, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
What a cutie. Go Dahiva. That's an excellent name.
And for those that don't have cats, you don't own cats. They own you.
Yeah, we're staff.
So. But that's all we have for today. Thank you so much to Gina for joining me. Thank you so much for helping out, being an admin and supporting Fosstodon, as well as supporting the Fediverse with your time, energy, and passion.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you. And if you'd like to donate to Gina and Fosstodon, again, as I said before, I'll have a link in the description. Please don't forget to tip any of your local admins, your developers. They depend on you. Hopefully, we'll figure this thing out eventually so that, we can all enjoy the Fediverse and not have to worry about, the vulnerability of a server. Are we going to be able to pay it tomorrow or not? But we'll get there. And if you enjoy watching what I'm doing, we have a nonprofit called BT Free. It is digital privacy rights, advocacy, and consulting. You can feel free to donate to me as well. All funds go to supporting the Fediverse and helping with outreach. Remember, we're all each limited in what we can do, but together, combined, we can all do anything. So thank you all. Have a great day, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.